Now, Justice Minister Ronald Lamola has reassured concerned civil society movements that the country's constitution will be defended and the rule of law is sacrosanct. Yesterday, the Defend Our Democracy campaign, led by former minister in the presidency, Reverend Frank Shikane, delivered a memorandum to the minister. The campaign has amassed some 8,500 signatures demanding accountability for corruption and the protection of South Africa's constitutional democracy. These calls come as former President Jacob Zuma's contempt of court case will be heard at the Constitutional Court today. Now, Justice Minister Ronald Lamola joins us for more on this story. Minister, good morning once again. Thanks for your time on the AM report. If we take a look at what these concerned civil society movements are saying and where we are this morning in terms of the former President Jacob Zuma's contempt of court case in the Constitutional Court, it's astonishing, isn't it, Minister, even though it was somewhat downplayed, it's astonishing that the former president has disregarded a decision by the Constitutional Court that he appear before the state capture inquiry.
Yes, obviously, it is a concern that has been shared to us by the group, and it's also a concern that the government shares, that all of us as South African citizens should comply with the orders of the courts and also should respect and support the work of the Commission of Inquiry into State Capture, because it is important for our democracy. It is this year the 25th anniversary of the Constitution, and the Constitution is a sacrosanct component of our democracy, including the rule of law. So we all have a duty to ensure that we promote, defend, and protect it.
Minister, I want to ask you a question that I think has been ventilated in various quarters. The way the situation with the former president has been handled, his disregard of the apex court, it's not just any court, it's the highest court in the land, ordering him to appear at the state capture inquiry. The way it was handled, is this how it would have been handled had it been any other South African?
Yeah, as you are aware, ourselves as the executive, we provide the policies and the legislation that the Commission of Inquiry functions through, including the courts. And we, according to the Commissions of Inquiry Act and the regulations, provided the regulations for which the Commission of Inquiry can ensure that every person attends the inquiry. And if the person does not attend the inquiry, also the regulations provide instruments for the commission that it can use to deal with any person who does not attend to such. And we believe that the Commission of Inquiry has enough instruments to deal with whoever does not attend. And I think the Commission of Inquiry is exercising its rights through the various platforms so that whoever is not attending must be able to do so. And we will want to allow that to happen as the executive so that we give the Commission of Inquiry a life of its own.
So this Defend Our Democracy campaign, Minister, it talks about various threats to the South African Constitution, and among them is the defiance by the former president against an order by the Constitutional Court. But other issues it also talks about is corruption, state capture. In your engagements with this campaign, how do we take these discussions forward so it's not just something that happens on paper with 8,500 signatures and that's where it ends?
Yeah, obviously the reason we have received the memorandum was to obviously hear what are the concerns, what are the issues they are raising. This is the 25th anniversary of the Constitution. What are the lessons that we have learned in the past 25 years? And what is it that we need to do going forward to deal with corruption? And as you have said, the Commission of Inquiry is one of those instruments, but also the strengthening and the giving support to the law enforcement agencies so that they are able to investigate, prosecute, and deal with the work that relates to the aspects of corruption, but also to increase the specialized commercial crimes courts that we have across the country, with an effort that we are currently undertaking, so that whatever investigation that comes from the Hawks and whatever the prosecution that is end up being decided by the NPA, they get a platform where the matters can be trialed, because as you are aware, in some of these special commercial crimes court, we already have a backlog. So opening up the space in Limpopo, in Mpumalanga, in the Northwest, and the Free State will enable to ease that backlog so that some of the matters are tried in the provinces where they happen. So those are some of the efforts we are working as a department to strengthen that the work of the anti-corruption fighting agencies is strengthened, and they also have a platform where the matters can be tried.
Yeah, and I mean, this is, according to Reverend Frank Shikane, one of the key threats to our democracy, our inability to hold to account the people who are at the heart of state capture, among other issues facing our country. And you talk about, you know, ensuring that there's more resources going to our investigating bodies, including the NPA, the Independent Police Investigative Directorate, among other investigating arms of the country. But this is a story that we've been tracking for some years now, Minister. I remember headlines going back as far as 2018 talking about how under-resourced our organizations, including the NPA, are. What strides have we made over the past, shall we say, 3 years? And in a year's time, where do we hope to be?
Yes, indeed, we have to open with South Africans. There are challenges with regards to financial resources, particularly for the NPA and the Hawks that are responsible for this work. And hence we have worked very hard in the past 2 years to help the NPA with regards to them now being able to recruit into some of their key positions, including to revive the program of aspirant prosecutors from which the National Prosecuting Authority recruits from. But still the resources are lacking. But we have given them that support that at least with the limited resources, they are able to do some of the work that is before them, because the fiscal challenges, as you are aware, were further exacerbated by the current COVID-19 challenges that we have. After we had reached some kind of level where we thought that their financial situation will be stable, again, the budgets were cut because of the COVID-19 situation across the board. So that has further taken us back, but at least they will be able to do the recruitments that they had asked for, which they were not able to do before. And that is coming in as a huge boost to the National Prosecuting Authority to be able to do some recruitment and also to be able to get some kind of specialist skills that they need, particularly in the special commercial crimes unit that deals with these complex and sophisticated matters.
Minister, I mean, is it fair to blame these constraints on COVID-19 when they are so long-standing?
We are not blaming them on COVID-19. If you had listened carefully, I said that we had reached an agreement with the National Treasury to help the NPA in that regard, and that agreement was reached. There was some resources that were set aside that will enable them to do a number of things. And some of the resources had to be cut at some stage, I think, during the medium-term budget framework speech because of the COVID-19. But still, they are able to do certain things which I've said, which is the recruitment, which they were not able to do before, so that they can fill some of these positions, these critical posts, but also for us to expand some of the courts, like the Special Commercial Crimes Court to Limpopo, to Northwest, and also to the Free State and Mpumalanga, which we were not able to do before. So it's not like everything has fallen back, but there is some work that we are still able to do.
Minister Ronald Lamola, thanks very much for your time this morning on the AM Report. He is the Justice Minister, responding there to a group of concerned civil society groups. They call themselves the Defend Our Democracy campaign. That story in the headlines this morning, as former President Jacob Zuma and his contempt of court case is back in the Constitutional Court.